readers. Hi, third grade readers. Today, our mini lesson, our target, is about fluency. So we are going to remind ourselves of what fluency focus points are. So we work on fluency as readers. One thing we focus on is our accuracy, which means it's always our goal to read words correctly. Okay, a second thing that we work on is our rate, which means we do not want to read too fast and we don't want to read too slow. Also, we focus on our expression, which means we want to read with feeling, we want to sound happy, we want to have some lift in our voice so we don't sound like a robot. And lastly, we focus on the punctuation as readers. The author puts that punctuation in there, so we have to read it like that inside our heads. So we follow most or all of the punctuation marks as they are read in the text. Okay, so today is a fluency lesson. And so we are going to read what that means. What is our target today? So today, your goal is going to be to read in phrases. And so we're going to break that down and talk about what are phrases. So your strategy to do this today, to read in phrases, is instead of reading word by word like a robot, it's important to try to read a few words together. And this is called a phrase. To do this, you can try to scoop up a few words at a time. Read all the words in one scoop together, in one breath before pausing. Then scoop up the next few words. You can slide your finger in a scoop under the few words you're going to read, and then read them all together in one breath. So you'll pause and then scoop up the next few words. So, instead of sounding like this is a dog. He likes to play ball. It'll sound like this. This is a dog. He likes to play ball. So, this is a dog. He likes to play ball. So our goal is to scoop words up. And when we put more than one word together, if we call that a phrase. So boys and girls, your target today as a reader is you are going to read with the strategy called phrasing. Phrasing means you're working on chunking words together into meaningful phrases. So below, it says, by doing this, it is the ability to read like you're talking. So I'm not reading this meaning right here, phrasing, sounding like chunking words together into meaningful phrases. So we want to get ourselves in the habit of reading like we're talking. So to do that, we chunk or we scoop words more than a couple words at a time. So below here, you see the swoops. And you notice some are 2 words together, 3, and this last one, even in one breath, has 4. So it would sound not like Samantha drove to the store to buy milk and eggs. Rather, Samantha drove to the store to buy milk and eggs. So you hear my to buy milk and eggs, my breath kept going as I scooped and phrased this part together. So I'm going to practice for you. But one very important thing to think about as we're working on fluency, notice that I have this part right here highlighted in green. Because boys and girls, before you read, to really be a fixer-upper with reading, we have to make sure that before you read and practice today's reading strategy, you need to first read and browse the text and highlight or circle any word you cannot pronounce accurately right off the bat. That means the word didn't feel right, it doesn't sound right, and it doesn't look right. So there are tools that will help you to figure out these words you cannot pronounce accurately right from the start. So notice this is in green. Your first job as a reader is to browse the text you're given, circle and highlight any words, but don't just circle and highlight them. We need to figure these words out first. Boys and girls, readers, figure the words out first. If that means writing them 10 times, if that means saying them out loud to yourself 30 times, if that means asking an adult to help you figure the word out, or seeking out a dictionary. Let's make sure, because dictionaries don't just give you the meanings, they also teach you how to pronounce the words. Once you have figured out all the words, then move on to your phrasing practice for today. And here are some things you want to stop and think about as you begin working on your phrasing today. Think about what words will you scoop up together, and how will you know to do that? And make sure you're scooping under those words, like we did back here with Samantha drove. So we didn't go word by word, but we found those meaningful spots, scooping 2 words or even 4 words into one breath. Then you'll read those words all in one breath. You'll try it again and read all those words without pausing. And then think about, did it feel and sound like you were reading word by word? If so, make sure you try it again by scooping. And now that you'll have the words, you'll go back and try to read a few together. And then ask yourself, did it sound like all those words were in one scoop and in one breath? And make sure the whole time you're working on reading in phrases. Phrases, as a reminder, is right here. Which words? 2 words, 3 words, 4 words. Can be anywhere from 3 to 6 words that you're scooping together in one breath. So let's practice this. So my first sentence practice, I'm going to first browse, and I'm going to make sure that there are words that I need to make sure I really practice with my mouth first. So I see these 3 words, and I'm going to break down the sounds, make sure, and I'm going to say them a couple times to myself. And I see kite, soar, soar. So soar above my head. I see an ooh and a sh. So swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. And then I see ag, dagger, dagger. And one thing you can do, boys and girls, while you're trying to figure these sounds out is where do you see some chunks, some sounds together? So see, I saw dagger, but I also kind of saw the ER. So what are your eyes seeing to figure those words out? And if you need a little bit of coaching from an adult, another peer or a friend, please make sure you're doing that first. So now that I have that fixed up, I'm ready to practice my scooping. So I needed to decide where, because I remember they said I could scoop up 2, 3 words, maybe 4 words. So I'm going to just give it a try. So if you're not sure where your scooping is going to go, just give it a try. So I think I'm going to do, I saw the kite soar above my head and then swoosh down. So there's a big 4. and then swoosh down to the ground. It hit the ground, so that's a big swoosh right there. It hit the ground like a dagger. So look at my swoops again. So I'm going to do, I saw the kite soar above my head, and then swoosh down to the ground. It hit the ground like a dagger. So then, boys and girls, once I swoop, I want to try to read them in one breath. So I'm going to put together my first two. So I'm going to erase those two. Now I'm going to read these in one breath. Let's choose a different color. That wasn't a great dark enough color. So instead of I saw, I'm going to do I saw the kite soar. So I'm going to swoop all of those. I saw the kite soar above my head and then down to the ground. Ooh, listen to that one I can bring together. So I have, I saw the kite soar. I saw the kite soar. Ooh, I decided to put those four together, didn't I? So I'll swoop those again. So I'm going to swoop all the way to here. So my breath, my one breath needs to get all four of those words. I saw the kite soar above my head and then swoosh down to the ground. Ooh, that was such a good one. And then swoosh down to the ground. Notice my breath kept going like I was talking. It hit the ground like a dagger. Now I'm going to read it to myself all together. I saw the kite soar above my head and then swoosh down to the ground. It hit the ground like a dagger. The only spot I noticed is I didn't do my one breath at and. So I'm going to read it one more time. I saw the kite soar above my head and then swoosh down to the ground. It hit the ground like a dagger. So what do you think, boys and girls? How do you think I did with hitting my target? Do you think I did it where I could help teach others? Do you think I was pretty on? Was I at a 2 where I'm going to need some help, or am I at a 1 where I'm going to need lots of help? I think, boys and girls, that I was using it on my own. I was using that strategy, and I think I could teach others to do that. But I also felt like at times I was a 3 as well. So I'm definitely a 3 and a 4. I'm feeling confident and independent about using this target. So let's see how I do on my second card. So let's get my red, my swoosh. First job, remember, browse. So the word is BRWSE. We want to browse this text. Look for words that you know you cannot say right off the bat, which means you would have to work for it or guess. And it might be some of those words that have some sounds in it that your tongue has to work out. Doesn't always mean you can't say it. It might mean it might be a little tongue hiccup where your tongue kind of slides and messes up. So I see a couple sounds here. So I see the E and the alley. So I see peak, 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 peak. His tiny, scaly head, scaly, scaly. So those two words I'm confident about now. So I'm now going to look for my swoops. Tom watched. So I'm going to do Tom watched the turtle peek out of its shell. Slowly, out of its shell slowly. Ooh, those 4, I need a 4 there. Out of its shell slowly. So notice when you scoop things together, it's all about your breath. Can you scoop that up and sound like you're talking and having a conversation? That's the trick of why you have to reread and think about where is your phrasing going to start and end. Notice that Miss Arnold's figuring it out as she reads and practices. Sometimes I have to go back and redo my swoops, my scoops. So I have Tom watched the turtle peek out of its shell slowly, but surely showing. So there's 3, but surely showing his tiny scaly head. So I had 4 swoops in that one. So I had 2 here, 1, 2, 3 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that one. But my breath, that was important that I kept slowly in on that swoop, but surely showing his tiny scaly head. Okay, so now let's watch Miss Arnold's swoops. Now that I have an idea where my scoops are going to go. So I have Tom watched the turtle peek out of its shell slowly, but surely showing his tiny scaly head. Tom watched the turtle peek. I think I might put these 2 together, boys and girls, right here. So I have Tom watched the turtle peek out of its shell. Slowly but surely. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I like that one a little bit better, I think. Tom watched the turtle peek out of its shell. Slowly but surely, showing his tiny scaly head. Let me see if I did that right. Tom watched the turtle peek out of its shell. Slowly but surely. That's where it was, right there. Slowly but surely, showing his tiny scaly head. So this was my biggest chunk right here, boys and girls. Let's change that color. See if you could hear me here. This was the part I was deciding, was it going to go with the part before or the part after? And I think it sounds smoother, like a real conversation. I kept my breath going if I kept showing his tiny scaly head in one. So today, boys and girls, when you have practiced enough and you are ready, you're going to read your fluency cards using your audio tool on Seesaw. Lastly, boys and girls, you're going to practice the same skill in a passage. Mine is titled Sammy's Birthday. I'm going to do the same thing. My first job is I'm going to scan. I'm going to browse. So that's the word scan or browse my text to look for unfamiliar words that I can't say easily or accurately right off the bat. I see that this kind of has an ending on the end. This one I'll have to chunk. I see apostrophe S. Ooh, I see some dialogue. So really when you browse or scan, it means what do you notice? Notice that I'm not only looking for words that I don't know how to pronounce, but those things that might cause me to have a little hiccup in my reading. And I did miss the other dialogue up here because the author wants me to notice the exclamation point while I'm reading. I see a question mark, so the author's going to want me to read with the question mark. Some more dialogue and another exclamation point. So now that I'm familiar with the way that text is written, I'm going to work on my scooping. And I'm going to try the first sentence. It was a special day. It was a special day in the Smith house. So that's one breath. This is another breath. So hear that one again. It was a special day in the Smith house. It was Sammy's 7th birthday. Wake up, everyone. That's one big swoop. Sammy screamed. Nope. Sammy screamed from the bottom of the stairs. I think I could scoop that whole one together. Sammy screamed. No, I think there will be 2 swoops. So I think I need to say, Sammy screamed, then swoop from the bottom of the stairs. Everyone rushed. Nope. Everyone rushed to the stairs. They didn't remember that it was Sammy's birthday. Why are you waking us up? No, that one doesn't feel right. Why are you waking us up so early? His mom asked. It's my birthday, Sammy yelled again. So notice, boys and girls, the phrasing, the swooping comes as you practice. Notice I have some that I have phrases of 2, some are 3, but even this one right here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 words in that swoop. Okay, but if you can't do 8 swoops in one breath, or 8 swoops, 8 words in that swoop, then that should not be a phrase for you. So let's look at mine one more time. Let's make sure I have my swoops in the right place. It was a special day in the Smith house. It was Sammy's 7th birthday. Wake up, everyone! Sammy screamed from the bottom of the stairs. Everyone rushed. Everyone rushed to the stairs. They didn't remember that it was Sammy's birthday. Why are you waking us up so early? His mom asked. It's my birthday, Sammy yelled again. And on this 3rd read, boys and girls, each time you read it with your swoops, practicing your phrasing, that is your target today. You want to be able to hit the target that you can use phrasing over and over and use your swoops to be a more fluent reader today. And once you have read it your 3rd time, please use the audio tool and read it aloud to us. Lastly, boys and girls, you are going to fill in and evaluate yourself of how you think you did with today's target. So the first one is, I am reading one word at it. So let's read the title. Definitely, it's where it should start. First, right, Ms. Arnold? How smooth is my writing? Student, you're going to listen to yourself read. And now what you have, you're going to fill in the self-assessment chart. So down here, number 1, did you read one word at a time? I did not. I am reading too fast like a cheetah. I did not. I am reading slow and fast at different parts like talking. I think I worked hard on that. I am reading smooth like a reporter. I'd say smiley face, straight face. Because before I moved on, boys and girls, I know I would practice a little bit more to be even more smooth than I was. Something I thought I did well was I was patient and I did a lot of rereading. Because I know with fluency, That's what it's going to take. A lot of patience and rereading. What do I need to work on? I need to work on my expression. So today, boys and girls, this is your task. You are going to practice phrasing. You're going to have 2 fluency cards and your own passage. And very importantly, don't forget to record yourself on each when you are ready to show us how you used the phrasing strategy today. Happy reading.